Hello and welcome to the Edge of Your Seat's second catch-up compilation. We apologise for using an alternative format, we just really wanted to get this out.
I find giants, I hunt giants, I kill giants. These are the defiant words of middle school pariah Barbara Thorson, protector of her small coastal town. Like any normal child, Barbara reluctantly attends school and fights with her siblings at home, but every spare waking moment is spent tracking the hulking demons that plague her, and there's something dark lurking in her own home at the top of the stairs. Based on the excellent graphic novel, I Kill Giants is a wonderfully emotional and offbeat exploration of a painful growing up through the prism of magic realism. Madison Wolfe carries the film almost single-handedly as the troubled and troublesome young giant slayer, whilst Imogen Poots and Zoe Saldana shine as the adults struggling to understand and help her. If you saw A Monster Calls a couple of years ago, this is very much in the same vein, though from a female and American perspective, an utterly enchanting bit of cinema. The best way to describe the new coming-of-age dramedy Love, Simon is that it's the best John Hughes film John Hughes never made. Now, yes, there have been many imitators to the Hughes crown since his 80s heyday, with the MCU most recently trying their hand at it with Spider-Man Homecoming. Few of these have managed to resonate as anything beyond nostalgic fluff, but this is a welcome exception. When an anonymous blog post on his high school forum reveals that there's a closeted gay kid at his school, popular every teen Simon realises he has found someone with whom he can share his deepest secret. He's gay too. That this sort of premise still has legs in 2018 is a dispiriting reminder that bigotry doesn't just disappear because we want it to. It's made clear that out and proud means bullied at Simon's high school. He makes a fair point that's mostly played for laughs about heteronormative expectations. Why are gay people the only ones forced to come out? Obviously this is the hook behind the film, but it manages to be interesting beyond the premise. It plays about with high school tropes and has interesting and mostly relatable characters, though they can sometimes seem overprivileged. All in all, a new high point of the genre. Sometimes a film's only crime can be bad timing. There's a Bojack Horseman episode, and seriously, if you're not watching Bojack Horseman, watch Bojack Horseman, that satirically shows the hardships of scheduling gun-heavy movies in an environment of almost daily mass shootings. As I've said before, the context of when you experience art can colour your perception of it, but sometimes it's just a bad film, and Death Wish is just a bad film. It's a remake of the 1974 Charles Bronson original, this time starring Bruce Willis. As a story of vigilante revenge for the murder and assault of the protagonist's wife and daughter, it was always going to be button-pushing and exploitative, but the timing of this film's release just played into the hands of NRA wackos who think a fully armed populace is the only path to safety. If the film had any guts, it would stick hard to its own nasty politics, but it tries to cut the difference by having talking heads ask, "But is this really a good idea?" To answer that, no, it's a terrible one. Next stupid question? All of this could be saved with slick writing and compelling performances, but the writers seem uninterested in anything but set pieces, and Willis sleepwalks through every line delivery. The original spawned 4 sequels, hopefully this time we'll be spared. So this is an interesting one. We try to keep up with as many films as we can, but that sometimes means going into something almost blind. Such was the case with Thoroughbreds. From the brief synopsis that I glanced at beforehand, estranged childhood friends reconnecting their late teens, one a perfect one-percenter and the other one a social outcast, we were expecting basic teen dramedy. And for what it's worth, there are teens and there is drama, and it is very funny. But this is anything but typical. Right from the start, with its lingering side shots of a horse and slow tracks of characters from behind, there's something delightfully disturbing about the clinical nature of the film, and the way it deals starkly with truly horrible people. In that sense, you could say it's the teen girl counterpart to American Psycho, though here there's no internal monologue to help you get under their skin. Olivia Cooke of the Limehouse Golem and Anya Taylor-Joy of The Witch are both brilliant here as the 2 leads. But of course, another cast member must be mentioned. The film showcases one of the final performances from the sorely missed Anton Yelchin, who died in a freak accident in 2016. While still with us, he lent his considerable talents to the rebooted Star Trek, the grotesquely tense Green Room, and Ghibli animation From Up on Poppy Hill, all of which I highly recommend, by the way. Here he plays a seedy drug dealer, and reminds us again what a talent has been lost, and the film's worth seeing for him alone. Back Back when Tomb Raider came out, I complained that video game adaptations rarely, if ever, rise beyond mediocrity. They're too goofy or too serious, overproduced or underproduced, and almost universally badly written. And whilst that's still a fair general assessment, I'm happy to celebrate the exceptions when they come along. Rampage is the simple, well, I say simple, it's still sci-fi, story of a man and his gorilla and the dangers of corporate science. When a genetic experiment in space goes wrong, a mutagenic pathogen rains down on certain areas of the state, engorging a crocodile, a wolf, and the aforementioned gorilla to titanic size. This gorilla is George, rescued friend of primatologist Davis Okoye, played by Dwayne Johnson. The former Rock has a very watchable, likeable screen presence, even when acting to CGI, making his friendship with George the believable linchpin at the heart of all this silliness. Giant monsters smashing up skyscrapers looked cool, but making me care as well? That is a winner. That's not to say it's a masterpiece, really it's just pure popcorn shoveling fun, but it still manages to set a high watermark for game adaptations simply by sticking to an all-ages mentality and not taking itself too seriously.